Flying can be stressful if you don't prepare ahead of time for the big day, but it doesn't need to be that way. And that's why today I'm going to talk about everything you need to know about the new baggage changes, getting through the TSA with ease, and even what to wear to the airport to make yourself comfortable. And Alfie's going to keep us company during the video. This is my little Alfie. First, let's talk about the new baggage allowances. Domestic carriers are still going to be going by the 22 by 14 by 9 inches for carry-on, and the weight of the bag should not exceed 50 pounds. You are still allowed a personal item that fits under your seat. The new EU rules are more confusing. Carry-on is supposed to be limited to 55 by 40 by 20 centimeters, or 21 inches by 15.7 inches by 7.8 inches. Additionally, the maximum weight allowance has been set at 8 kilograms, or 17.6 pounds. This has led to some panic about whether or not you need to buy new luggage. But after doing some research, I found out that this new rule is more like a suggestion or a minimum for airlines and not a hard and fast rule. For instance, if you look at British Air's allowances, you'll see that their allowances are 22 by 18 by 10 inches for carry-on luggage, which is bigger than most US carriers, and your bag can weigh 51 pounds, while other European carriers are weighing both your carry-on and personal item as one total allowance. And by the way, they've gotten very sneaky about how they weigh your luggage, with scales under the floor at the kiosks. Where does that leave you? My advice is to check with all the airlines you're going to be using for your trip and go by the smallest allowance allowed. Also, I would invest in a good luggage scale to make sure that you are making compliance. I have included in the description below a link to an article from US News and World Report that has a listing of all the airline allowances. You might want to bookmark it for future reference. So now that you know how big or small your carry-on and personal items should be, and you've packed accordingly, and you're ready to go to the airport, before you walk out that door, let me share a great tip. Download the app My TSA along with your airline's app. This will give you real-time information on how long it will take you to get through the TSA for your particular gate, so there's no surprises on how long you're going to have to wait at the TSA. Which brings me to my next point. Arrive at the airport with plenty of time. This way, you won't be worried about getting through the TSA and being stressed out about making your flight. When you're stressed out, you make dumb mistakes. You won't forget something in a bin at the TSA as you rush off to make your flight. You should also know that the flights are being boarded earlier than scheduled. Keep that in mind. The benefit of being early at the gate means that you'll be the first one online when your group is called up, which means there's a better chance that you'll have overhead bin space and you won't get gate checked. And if you don't know what being gate checked is, check out this video over here. Now, when considering what to wear for ease of getting through the TSA, don't wear stuff that has a lot of metal that'll set off the metal detectors. If you're wearing boots, make sure you loosen the laces so that they can be slipped on and off easily. Don't wear loose pants that need a belt to be held up, since you're going to have to take off that belt, and you don't want to be embarrassed by your pants slipping down when the TSA agent tells you to put your hands over your head in the body scanners. Don't wear offensive or controversial t-shirts because you might get pulled out of the line and that will slow you down. If you're wearing a heavy sweater or sweatshirt, you're going to be asked to take that off. And if you don't have anything appropriate underneath, and don't ask how I know about this, but let's just say Eringo braless for night flights, you will have to be checked in a private booth, which is very unpleasant and embarrassing and slows you down. So remember this while dressing for the plane. Try not to wear a money belt, since you will have to take that off. And if that happens, make sure you put it into your personal item bag and not loose in the tray. And while we're talking about valuable items you're carrying that might have to go into one of those bins, make sure that you put items like your wallet and your passport into your personal item. There has been reports The TSA agents are stealing from these trays and other passengers accidentally walking away with your stuff. Putting these items into your personal bag will help mitigate these problems. Also, make sure that your carry-on goes on first on the belt, followed by the tray with your electronics to be taken out, and then also your personal item bag. That way, your electronics will have a buffer between your two bags, so someone won't mistake it for theirs. Before passing through the body scanner, make sure that you tell the officer if you have any metal implants, such as a pacemaker or an insulin pump. Also, winter travel brings winter boots. So while you're online, loosen your straps or laces before you get to the agent. Also, here's a big pro tip. The floors are often wet and nasty in the winter months, so slip on hospital booties that are waterproof before you put your boots on. That way, after you go through the body scanner, your socks will not be soaking wet and nasty for the rest of the flight. Now, once you're through the body scanner and you've retrieved your shoes, take off those booties and toss them. Make sure you take another pair with you for the return flight home. You can get these booties on Amazon, and they're really inexpensive. In the winter months, always have socks on, because remember, a lot of people have been through that booth before you, and you don't want to pick up some nasty infection. You can always take off the socks after you pass through the TSA. And of course, we have to talk about the 3-1-1 rule. Simply put, it means you're allowed 3.4-ounce containers of liquid that can fill a 1-quart size bag and 1-quart size bag per person. This is the standard in the US, although some airports are trying out new systems. Now abroad, the rules are different. Your bag can't be bigger than 1 liter, and the jars can't be bigger than 3 ounces, and it's strictly enforced, and you're only allowed 1 bag per person. Europe is also testing out new devices to allow more, but this is not standard, so best to stick to the old rules. When trying to figure out if an item is a liquid or not, if it doesn't hold its shape outside the bottle, it's a liquid. And container size matters. So even if you have a half-used tube of toothpaste that says 4 ounces on it, you can't take it because the container says 4 ounces on it. So get a travel-sized one. You are allowed to carry on liquid medicine and baby food, but you must make sure that you keep it in a different bag from your other liquids, and you have to notify the officer that you are carrying these. Also, don't forget, if you have a liquid in your carry-on, it will not only be removed, but it will delay you significantly, because now the agent will have to pull you aside and look through your bag. Talk about stressful. Also, I've done a lot of research about medicine, and in the US, you are allowed to put your medicines into a pill box without actually using the bottle that they came from. But be careful, because if you're traveling abroad, this may not be the case. For instance, Japan requires that all medicine must be in their original container, and some medicines are not even allowed. So be sure to check your destination country's rules about this. And while we're talking about rules, there's a new rule about electronics. Battery banks are limited to 100 hours of watt power. If you need some electronics that use between 100 and 160 watts, you'll need to get the approval from the airlines. Anything above this is not allowed. Also, you have to be able to turn on any device that you have, so make sure that anything you have is charged. And another change is that there is a cap of 15 powered devices, which sounds like a lot until you start to consider your phone, your computer, your e-reader, your power banks, your earbuds. You get the idea. Also, smart luggage, which contains a battery, must be removable and be able to be turned on. So keep this in mind. Now, if you have any questions for me, don't forget, you can leave it in the comment section down below, and I'll always answer you. And if you happen to find any value in this video, please be kind and hit the like and subscribe button down below, because that really helps this channel. Now that we've gone over getting through the TSA, let's talk about what to wear on the plane. This is one time to consider comfort over fashion. Now, I'm not talking about going like a slob, but there are some things to be aware of. Like, you don't want to wear loose, flowy clothing or clothing that could drag on the floor, since it's easily snagged when walking through the aisles, or it could hit the bathroom floor, which can be really gross. You should consider darker clothing because eating on a plane can get messy. Now think about the pants you want to be wearing. Try to wear pants that are loose in the waist, since people tend to expand in the air, especially if you're eating or drinking carbonated drinks. So wearing tight jeans will be very uncomfortable. I personally like wearing leggings. Also, think about the layers you're wearing on top. You want to make sure that you can take them off or leave them on or even open depending on the temperature of the plane. I happen to like these wraps that I got from Old Navy and Athleta. They look nice and they're super comfy. Some people might like to opt for a hoodie so they can help tune out the plane. And if they want to sleep, so nothing beats a hoodie with an eye mask and noise canceling headphones to help you sleep. Compression socks will help prevent DVT, or deep vein thrombosis. It can hit anyone at any age, but there are people who are actually at high risk. For instance, if you're over 65, or you have diabetes, or you have varicose veins, or you take birth control, or you smoke, you're at higher risk. I personally know of 2 people who got DVT, and only one of them had a happy ending. So this is something you should take seriously. Also, don't forget to do seat leg exercises. They help a lot. I have included a YouTube video showing you some simple ones to do in the description down below. Finally, now that you're situated in your chair, take out your flight comfort bag and start wiping everything down. And if you don't know what a flight comfort bag is and you don't know what to keep in it, check out this video over here. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.